Hi guys, welcome to my channel. Alright, today I want to give you a guide on how you can come to automation space. Those of us that are aspiring to come into automation training. So I want to guide you and give you the requirement. Okay. Alright, then for those of you aspiring to come into automation space, let me give you the requirement. Number one, sorry, I always advise. First of all, you have a laptop. That's the first requirement. Then second requirement is that you have a practice kit. You will have to have your practice kit where you practice the automation coding. All right. That is the second requirement. Another requirement is have to have a control skill. You have to come with a control background. If you don't have knowledge for control, you have to now go for control training. All right. Like I normally said, control is a kind of giving you a workbench, giving you a platform, giving you a foundation to understand the process operation of a particular setup. Okay, that is control. Control will prepare you and give you the platform to work on schematic, understand diagram, understand design, understand process operation of a particular setup. Okay, all right. Like I said before, control and automation is the same thing. They are both the same thing. It's just that one is more advanced than other. Okay. But if you are coming from you are coming into automation and you don't know how to design, you don't know operation sequence of a logic, you don't know, you cannot interpret drawing, you will find it difficult to navigate in automation space. All right. Okay, now, and most of us, when we come into automation, we want to write code, want to write PLC program. Yeah, I know you are very eager to know how to write program and download to PLC, and PLC start doing the magic that you are expecting. But PLC is not a magic device. PLC is a device that take instruction from you. You are an interface to PLC. PLC does not function without your action. You have to take PLC, give instruction to PLC what PLC will have to do before PLC commence the action. So how do you give the instruction? Is what you conceive from your mind, what you want to do, the activities you want PLC to carry out, is that is what you design. That is the first stage. Put it in a design structure. Then the operation sequence, you must analyze them. Then after that, you now send the instruction to PLC and write the code and analyze the code the way you want the activity to be executed. That is what PLC will do for you. And that is what requirement number 3 will do to train you on how to do that. You have to understand control system. You have to have control skill first, then before you come into PLC space. Now, number 4, you must work with your mini PLC. Okay, you must have your PLC hardware, you must have it. That is what PLC training stipulates. Aside from this, you are going to find it difficult to understand automation. Okay, so let me give you a pictorial view of what I mean. Number 1 is your laptop. Number 2 is your work kit. Let me see if I have the pictorial view for. All right, thank you. This is what I mean now. This is my PLC. Though as a beginner, you're not expected to buy PLC now, but I will tell you how to get a mini PLC. This is your PLC. This is your workbench. This is your practice kit. This is your workstation. And this is your laptop. So when you now go for your training center, you come back, you have to practice this at home alone without being supervised by anyone. You have to do it yourself. When you go to your, I repeat again, when you go to your training center, if you are doing it offline, you are doing it at the training center. As you close and come back to your house, you have to continue practicing with this. Sorry. All right. So this is your work kit, second requirement. Okay, now this is another worst kid for those of you doing control and automation simultaneously. If you are doing control and doing automation at the same time, or even if you are doing them one after the other, this kid is for dual purpose. This kid is for control practice and it's also for automation practice. During your control practice, you do your termination of your hardware here and also operate them here, and they will react according to the instruction you give to them. So this is your skill for automation and for your control. Now, but as a beginner, you're not expected to have this. You have a miniaturized type of it. But if you come into automation space, you must have these two. If you are not financially sound to purchase the PLC, I will show you what you need to get in place of PLC. Okay, let me show you. This is what you need to get. You need to have a miniaturized PLC, a small PLC that is affordable. Okay, now this one is Mitsubishi PLC. All right. Now, the essence of you having this PLC is for you to design uh, your program and simulate your program and also practicalize your program on PLC. This is the reason why I said you need this requirement. You need all of this. You need laptop one. You need practice kit being this one. You need practice kit like this. They need PLC, small PLC that is affordable. This one is affordable. This one is very small. Okay. Those of you, sorry, those of you that are very familiar to online purchase, go and Google out Mitsubishi PLC. You will see a lot of smaller categories, miniaturized type. Okay, with $20 you can get them. Okay, with $20 you can get these PLCs, the small miniaturized type of it. With $20 you can get them. You need them. Please let me go back again. You need mini PLC for practice. If you don't have PLC at your disposal, you're going to find it difficult to navigate when you go to the industry. After training, after you must have completed your training, if you go to the field to practice your practical aspect of your automation, you'll find it difficult. Even when you are given a PLC to terminate the connections, you will be uh, lacking behind. Please, I advise you to have a mini PLC with $20. You have a lot of them, smaller size. You can also check fairly use from Abe platform, but as a beginner, I recommend you buy Mitsubishi miniaturized PLC to enable you practicalize the connections of your PLC. Now, for those of you that are not coming from electrical background and you're not coming from control background, this is more essential. Before you even register for the PLC training, you should have this, you should have this, you should have this, even if you don't have the knowledge of control. As they train you, you must go home and practice them. You must know how to terminate your connection. Okay, this is the reason why I said you need requirement number 3 before any other requirement. You need control skill. Let me give you example. If you are not into control skill, control training, if you don't have any control background, you wouldn't know what PLC is doing. But if you know about control, you will simply understand that the PLC function is all about what? Let me tell you something. Let me show you something here. Supposing I write a program and put instruction to PLC program coding and instructing the PLC that upon pressing this switch, I want this output to come up. Once this switch is energized, this output should come up. And when this switch is activated, this output should also go off. What are you expecting PLC to do? Look at what PLC will do for you. Look at what PLC will do for you. We are simply telling PLC that this bit should be connected to this. This is my volts, this is my 24 volts coming to activate this, and this is my negative coming to activate this. And I want these two cable to be connected. Let me just create okay, so this is what PLC will do for you. Just hold on. PLC will do something like this. Okay, so now this is a terminal and this is a terminal, and this one have to connect them together. As you press here, here will bridge. Bridging here is simply bridging here and bridging here. So you are telling PLC to connect these two cable right inside. That is what PLC, the instruction that PLC is going to execute for you. But if you don't know control, this magic that is transpiring within the internal composition of this PLC, you will not understand it. Even right after writing your program, connecting this to your PLC will become a problem to you. Okay, but if you understand the operation sequence of PLC, the instruction that PLC is using to execute your coding logic, if you understand it, you can write as complex as you can write any complex logic, and you will understand any complex logic. Okay, now let me also give you another hint. If you don't understand control, let me give you another hint. Let me show you a program. Now, this PLC code. I write this one using SR flip-flop. I use flip-flop to write this SR flip-flop. Now, this particular device that I use to write this, if you understand logic control, you understand about AND gate, NAND gate, and XNOR, and so on. If you understand the operation function, how their function and their configuration, I can use them to integrate so many working diagram programs. Okay, if you understand the function of those particular logic arrangement, you understand this flip-flop function. Now, see what I did. This is just star delta. I use how many network? 1, 2, 3 network, 4, and lastly 5 network to write a star delta. Now, let me show you another program. That same star delta. This is a different star delta. How many network? 1, 2, 3, and lastly 4 network. Then I have, okay, I still have overload tripping network. This is my 4th network. That is when the system trip off, it will illuminate fault. So how many network I have? 5 network. Now look at this. This is a different logic. The same operation sequence, exactly the same. Look at the coding, the bit is different. Check this one bit. Look at this one, how this one is represented. But they are speaking the same language. Their function, their operation sequence is exactly the same thing, but different coding logic. Okay, this one I use flip-flop. The other one I use bit logic. I use normal bit logic to do this one instead of flip-flop. But the same star delta. Okay, let me take you back to control. Just pay attention, okay? Just pay attention. Let me take you to control. All right. The same star delta is this, what I have here. This exactly what I have here is there. Now, if you understand the operation sequence of this, there was a video I did where I convert ladder diagram with a schematic. Now, I did it in such a manner that each of these circuit, each of this logic is going to be represented by another something like this. I did just watch my video, you see it, you see this. I show you difference between this NC and this other NC. But if you don't have design concept, for you to recognize this in place of this, you find it difficult. Not even if you understand them and cram their symbol, their function. If I turn them the other way around to represent their function in another way you don't understand, you will get confused. But once you understand off and on, the logic of control, put this together to form this, if you understand it, there is no complex of PLC that you will not understand. Then, funny enough, let me shock you. Funny enough, if I want to design pure water, okay, let me say I want to build a factory where I'll be manufacturing bottled water. I want to build a factory for pure bottled water manufacturing. Now, the end user, we have to consult automation engineer, consult other clients that are good in industry setup. Now, engineers, automation engineer, electrical engineer, structural engineer, whatever, all of them will have a meeting in a round table. I bet you none of these engineers will write program for the end user. Your automation engineer, your architectural engineer, your civil engineer, all of them, your electrical engineer, all of them, you will invite them for advice. All of them, whichever one that is suitable to execute that job, you will award the job to the person. But let me give you a hint. The client will end up getting the program written, pre-written from a foreign person, from somebody that does not belong to this body that I just mentioned. You know the reason why? All the machines, all the machine equipment that is going to be bringing to that setup, that is going to be used to set up the bottled water factory. The manufacturers of this machine, we have to sell the machine come alongside with the program. Let me come again. I want to buy a machine for a bottled water factory. Then one of these bottled water is responsible for filling the bottle with water. Now, if you are buying that equipment that is responsible for filling of the bottle, the manufacturer of that machine will sell the machine with the program in it. Yes, you don't have to write program for that machine. The machine will come with pre-program already. So you are not writing PLC code for that machine. All the machine will come with their code. So all you need to do is to download their program with your existing program that you will have to connect the whole machine. So you are not writing PLC for that machine to now start functioning as filling of the bottle, filling of the bottle. No, machine will come with that program in it. So what you are expected to do is to synchronize all the machine. Now analyze their operation sequence. You now know which of the machine need to be synchronized to this to work together, which of this one will work together with this. So your job as an automation engineer is to understand each machine functionalities. How do you understand them? Is by reading their drawings and understand their drawings, because you have all the machine, they have their drawing. So once you understand the drawing, you now know how to synchronize each of them, maybe to a central PLC. Perhaps different machine will have different PLC depending on your design. If you want to design them in such a way that different machine come with different PLC, you now have to design a central PLC that will recognize all the machine's activity. So your job is strictly field experience is what you need, not writing code. Let me repeat. Your primary objective coming into PLC is not writing this code. Writing code is not your primary objective. Your primary objective is to understand the operation sequence of your bit, operation sequence of your software, operation sequence of your hardware, operation sequence of your field devices. Once you understand them, writing this code is like ABCD. It's as simple as ABC. For instance, let me change the narrative of this drawing. If this is bottle water filling machine program, this program now, this network is for filling of bottle. Now, I have another network here that will cork the bottle after filling the bottle. I have another logic here that will label, put my nameplate on the body of the bottle, that is labeling machine. I have another one again here that will wrap, perhaps count the number of bottles and they wrap them according to their dozen base. Now, how do you now synchronize a program, write a program to synchronize the whole of this machine to work together in a sequential manner? How do you do that? You now have to write a program to link this, link that, link all, and generate a central base where they will be reporting. So that is what you're expected to do as automation engineer. Not this your PLC you are bombarding, all of you are bombarding me, telling me to teach you writing code. I have written a lot of code for you, but just register the program, register my course. I will teach you the rest. Okay, just register the program that you want to come into automation space. I will give you what you need to be integrated into the system. I've given you one here. For you to be integrated into the system, you need this requirement. You need this. Please, you need this. You need control skill. You need mini PLC. Since you are so eager to write program, you must need this because every day must practice different code, different code. I'll be changing. In fact, in a week, I will give you no less than 10 code to write in a week, 10 different code. And each of that code, we have a branch of connecting them, different connection, different code you have to write, and you have to connect them to your PLC. You have to simulate them. You have to also run them. Then when you are done with that, I'll give you another code to synchronize the previous one you've written with the current one I'm giving to you. Both of them will be synchronized to give you a different function. Okay? So this is your PLC requirement. Laptop 1, your workstation 2, you need PLC, please. You need a mini PLC. All right? Then you need to come with a series of control logic that you have to write. You have to write logic on control and understand the basic operation of control. You now write PLC to control your logic. All right? Okay, so this is what I have for you for today. All right, thank you. So what I expect from you now is for you to understand where the perspective I'm coming from. I will teach you automation. Okay, I will teach you. It's my calling. It's been in my blood. Okay, I'll make sure you digest it. Every bit of automation, you must understand it. But you must have to understand that you need these materials. You need PLC, no matter how small it is, the manufacturer's type, the one that you can afford with $20. You can get them, $25, $50, $100. You have different ranges, different type of PLC, mini type, that is miniaturized type of it that you can practice with. All right. If you are opportune to get the PLC 300 series, PLC 300, S7 300, fantastic. If you are also going to afford Siemens logo, fantastic. These are okay. Okay, but as a beginner, I will recommend small one that is affordable for you without spending big money. Then as you now advance and progress, you can now buy more advanced type of it. Okay. All right. So this is what you need as a beginner in PLC. All right. Okay. Thank you. What I expect from you now is to share this information and share the information. Share the information, then subscribe to my channel. You share to your loved ones and your friends and students if you have any, then also like it. Liking does not move money from your account. No. Liking does not take your data. The same data you use to listen to this information is the same data you use. Just click the button like and share and comment and tell me your view. Okay. Like I said before, here is all about knowledge transfer. What you know how to do best, you put it in comments. What I also know, I push it to you through this medium. All right. Okay. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye.